This is the Café Con podcast.
Sky.
Episode 1, cheers.
Cheers, guy.
The espresso machine.
Cheers. Let's go. It's time to bumble and stumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Colombian, but this man right here is the one that kind of taught me to really appreciate why he puts his Miami cap on.
Yeah, baby.
Coffee.
Cafecito. Yeah, baby. Let's go. That's the best thing. Let's get right into it. That's awesome. Dog, this is fun, man. I
like
honestly
this. I like this.
I was when I was talking to Sky, and just a heads up, I'm probably gonna have to get off at like 12:15. But
What time's right there?
It's 11:52, so
How
in
much
like
time we have?
25 minutes.
My
So
bad,
like
dog. It took forever because we
bro,
started
you're
out.
good, dog. Don't worry. This is fine.
Yeah, it'd be like a little pilot. It doesn't have to be a whole hour. This one.
We don't even know what we're doing. So let's just start right there. We have no idea what we're doing. The whole reason that this even came about was because you and I were talking one day. We may or may not have been inebriated, and we were just saying that we don't really have time to like sit and talk to each other as much as we used to. So we kind of wanted to just have intentional time to talk to each other, bro.
Yeah, I would definitely
know what
say
I
one of
mean?
the friends that reminds us all as a group of friends, like the 4 or 5 of us. Yeah, we all have our lives, and we're not expecting each other to like be a part of each other's lives as much as we were before when we were kids and when we had the luxury for that. But you're still always rounding the troops up, and that's we need at least one person in that group to do that. You're not the only one, but you're definitely one of the ones that do that. So that's definitely something to keep an open line.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big reason for that is because I'm so far away. So it's like, since you guys are still concentrated, since most of you are still in Florida, it's a little different. And even Hugh, like Hugh still goes to Florida a lot, but I'm the one that probably goes there the least amount of time.
Yeah,
I'm definitely the one that feels the absence of sort of what we used to have, because you guys can pretty much see each other whenever you want, Can
you hear the dog?
Nah.
Okay, because it's not picking up on the mic. I'm just.
I don't hear the dog at all.
That's gonna be real annoying if you could. Okay, yeah.
I don't hear the dog.
Good then.
Bro, I have this preamp. Am I spiking at all? Am I like really loud?
You sound really good. Am I too loud?
No, you're not spiking at all.
I think we're both good.
The reason why I asked that is because what's this 48V? But I have a 48.
That's voltage.
Volt.
That's voltage.
Yeah?
Some mics need that.
So should I hit? Should I turn it on?
Do it, and you sound fine without it.
Now I'm on 48V. Now
you sound more controlled. It sounds more controlled now.
All right, cool. I'll keep it on then.
Turn it off again. Let me see.
It's off. Now it's off. Now it's off.
You sound stronger now, but it doesn't sound bad. So you don't.
Stronger now. So this one sounds like it's a little more controlled then right now.
It sounds a little more distorted. Turn it off. It sounded fine without it.
Okay, I'll turn it off. All right, but yeah, like I was saying, I think that the reason why I even wanted to dude, my computer is losing. That's the only thing I hate about this. I have an old computer.
I gotta get a new one too. I've had this one for like 6 years, 7 years.
It's such an old computer, and it's losing so much power so fast. I don't know why it does this sometimes.
Yeah, I can never leave mine without it being plugged in. If not, it dies out.
Yeah, mine.
In half the amount of time it used to.
I got this.
Die out.
Bro, I got this for my work. I got it like 4 years ago. And
put the amp back on. Put the 48 volt back on.
That's on. It's back on.
No, turn it off. Turn it off. You start.
All right, turn it off. I probably just backed away from the mic. That's why you couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I was saying, I think that because of the fact that you guys are all still in Florida, and I'm just kind of like, I'm out here in LA. It's a much. I almost needed this or a reason to. I was telling Sky yesterday that, I miss like playing video games just with my cousins, because that was a time when you actually spent time with people. Even if you can't see them, you're still spending time and like, you're talking shit with them, and you're just kind of doing everything.
Yeah. It's not really even about the video games.
No.
In the moment, it feels like it. But really, when you look back years from now, you're like, man, I made good memories, like funny moments with my cousin or my friends. Like, I still remember moments of like playing with Aaron and him getting pissed at us because we're not pushing another group with him. Like I downed one. God. Aaron, where are you, bro? Look at the map. You're not even in the vicinity of my map.
My God.
Where are you guys at, bro? I'm down now. But it's like things you can come back and laugh at instead of just being like, oh, it's the game itself.
Oh my God, bro.
He was too funny.
He
Him
was,
and Kyle
yeah,
playing trios, which is so funny.
bro. Too funny is a good
That
way
was
of
a weird
putting it.
time during the pandemic, man.
I know.
There
I
was just so
know.
much idle time. I felt like we were like, we
I
got a
feel like we all
little.
got closer. I feel like
We
people were
did.
forced to get
I did.
closer during
Yeah.
the pandemic, you know? Like
Yeah,
you
for
kind of
sure.
had to spend time with people. We were talking about that yesterday. We were kind of forced to have to make intentional time. Like for instance, right now, I'm not on my phone, right? But when you're with people and you're just vibing with them, that phone thing, man, it's you pick up your phone just because out of habit, whatever it is, and you just
Yeah.
like start scrolling through your phone instead of talking to somebody. You know, and I think that that's why this is really dope, is because we get to just kind of, I just really want to just have like intentional time to talk to people. You know, that's just kind of what I think one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do this was just to like sit and just talk to you, kick it with my homie, bro. I
Yeah.
miss you guys, so I just wanted to kick it and see
Yeah.
what the deal is, you know?
I think I realized that too, that we all spend time with ourselves, like with passions and stuff, and that's good because it gets us away from our phone. But then at the end of the day, that reality of it is just us, like by ourselves. Where like we
Yeah.
need stuff like this, especially in this day and age where we have social media, but it's kind of done the opposite and not really created a social setting for
Right.
people. Everything's just
That's
so digital. So
bro,
like I said, like
that's a
I
good
love going,
point.
like one of my examples of time to myself is making music. And now as of like the last couple years, is working out. Like I won't leave my phone in the locker room, but I won't look at my phone when I'm working out.
Yeah.
Which I love that because I'm like I can get away from the world. I can work on myself, self-improvement. But then I realized too, I'm like, especially me being like somewhat introverted, I'm like, man, I am probably spending too much time by myself and my thoughts, where that used to probably like drive me crazy. It doesn't as much now just because we've gotten older. But even then, I'm just like, we need to, as individuals, take the effort, well, put in the effort and time to do stuff like this, where like we can look back and create memories, but also it's healthy for the mind in a short term and long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say
Definitely. You
that.
see my mic just cut out and then it just came back in. No,
Yeah.
I'm 100%. And you know, just you talking about that, it was like I have weights at home, bro. We got during the pandemic, we bought those adjustable dumbbells, and we've been
Yeah.
doing the adjustable dumbbells, and we just bought a kettlebell that you can adjust to. So we've been working out at home, which is dope. But it's like, uh, I miss just going to a gym, bro, and like just interacting with people. And we're not
Yeah.
even. I don't interact with people when I go to the gym.
Just have other bodies around you. Just feel energy. You cut out. You cut out. No. Are you still getting signal? It like cut in and out.
Hear me?
You're,
I know. I
there,
know.
there
Hold
you
on.
go. There
Hold
you
on.
go.
I
Good.
know it's weird. It's like for some reason my mic. That's another thing. See, this is where we're clunking along
That's fine.
because my mic is like cutting in and out. It kept doing this while I was waiting for you. I was trying to figure out. It's like your mic isn't working. I go, what are you talking about?
What were you messing with right now to fix it?
Nothing. I would go to test mic. I would just hit the test
Okay.
mic, and then it would test it and it would go back in. It's very
Okay.
strange, but whatever. I
Okay.
might have to do that a couple times. That's why I'm
Okay.
recording in mono. Hopefully, it's recording in mono.
So I guess for
But
us not to be too generic. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I mean, I was just gonna pick. This is kind of exactly what I wanted to do, bro. I didn't really. I mean, I have like my little outline and shit like
I
that, but
know,
this is
and
just
I'm
kind of
looking
what
at
I
it right. I
wanted to
have it
do.
right here. I'm looking at it. 'Cause I was gonna
This is
say, I
kind
know
of
I touched base on music, so I was like, is this the moment we can kind of introduce
that's good.
ourselves?
No, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Go ahead. What were you
All
gonna
right.
say?
So for those that don't know me, my name is George Michael. My stage name is George Knox. That's a whole nother story, probably for another episode.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't even know that story.
yeah, I mean, it's not like a crazy story or nothing, but it's just
That's okay. A
it's a really
story is a
quick,
story.
it's really quick of how I came up with it. But I make music. I've been making music since I was about 16, 17. I'm 30 now. I started in a study hall class. I pulled up an acapella by from a song called Forever by Lil Wayne, Eminem, and Drake. It was a really long song. It was before I even know how to loop uh sequences. So I would literally just sit there for 5 minutes straight playing one instrument instead of looping it. Uh so yeah, I did that, and then I started DJing a lot in college for parties. Um, one of my future roommates actually met his future wife there. It's his birthday's coming up, so I actually have to make an kind of like a happy birthday video for him. That I'm kind of like things I'm proud about is that, like you bring people together, whatever endeavor you do in general, but mine's is music. So yeah, I DJ and make music. I studied sound engineering. I was born in Chicago. I'm born in Chicago. Grew up in South Florida, Miami Lakes area. Now I live in Broward County. I went to school for soccer in Pennsylvania. Then I went to school in Orlando, at a school called Full Sail University. There, I never thought I could get closer to my best friend, but there we got ridiculous. It went from 10 to 20.
That's yeah.
With Kyle and Isaac. That was a great time.
Oh, that was fun.
Trying to not even figure out who we were just because we're so young. We don't even know who we are, but just trying to move through life and figure out little by little. I mean, we all struggle with things. I struggle with major anxiety, health problems, going to the hospital once. This guy had to take me to the hospital and pick me up. Like it was, and that's just the gist of it, I guess. But I moved back to South Florida. Still within the music industry, trying to build a brand here in South Florida in the DJ scene. But yeah, I like hip hop. I like dance music. I like house music, R&B. I love salsa. I love my Colombian heritage. I am Colombian. Both of my parents are Colombian.
I don't know if this is backwards or not.
No, it's not. It's perfect. This is actual company that it was a collective that we that I was a co-founder of. Hugh came to me with an idea.
Hugh's another one of our childhood boys.
Yeah. So basically myself, Hugh, and another childhood friend, Brandon Rose, they proposed me an idea of we want to come up with a collective called Keep the Lights On, KTLO. So the idea of it is to empower artists to not have to go through the middleman or like a major record label, or any creative in general, not having to go to the man to distribute and connect with their community. So we're using the powers and the accessibility and the tools and utility of Web3 to help people produce their work and to send it out to the world. So we basically made an album a couple years back in Arizona, and it's online.
It's dope. It's very surprising. Yeah. I will say that. It wasn't what I was expecting.
I want you to give your 2 cents on that, and then you can kind of like give your spiel.
No, go ahead. Finish up what you were going to say.
That's pretty much it. People are like, that's it? Like, because, whether you're in the music, any industry you're in, anytime you want to present something to the world, we're so conditioned to like, we have to go through hoops and ladders through the band, the man, whoever that is, record label, radio, TV deals, whatever it is. But we're with the internet, it's opened up the floodgates for anyone to do anything they want, which obviously that's a double-edged sword. Everyone thinks they're an artist. But the ones that really want to put in the legwork and really do this for the long haul, and it's more than just a passion project. It's more of it's part of their lives. Like there's a calling. We help people use the utility and tools of Web3. So essentially, we dropped an album. As you saw, Isaac had the hoodie. If you buy the album, you get a hoodie and you get exclusive content. And then also from now on till the end of our days, when we throw events, you basically get the perks of going to any event we throw, just because you were there from the beginning and you believed in us and you just want to be a part of the journey. It's not just us, KTLO. We're bringing people in, and that's the whole premise of KTLO. Keep the Lights On. It's basically sharing ideas and keeping the light bulb on for the next person to use it however they would like to, for collaboration in a sense. So yeah, the way you get the album is through an NFT.
That's what I was gonna bring that up, that it's the one and only NFT I own, because fuck if I know anything about NFTs, Web3s, any of that stuff.
Just to go off on a little tangent, like people know or hip to it, but not fully understanding what it can do. Like I was trying to explain to someone the other day, and they're like, I just don't get it. I'm like, let me give you an example, because obviously mine is it's just one idea, where if I give you another example, it kind of can show the landscape of where you can take NFTs. We have a group chat called Wealth VX that Hugh and I started. Isaac's on it. We have a lot of people in that group chat now. Basically, we talk about the economy,
stocks,
finances, the business world. You post articles there or ideas. Well, we have one kid that was on there that you went to school with. I already had left our school. named Santiago Mesa.
I don't remember who that is,
You
but
don't remember that? He used to
no.
hang
Is he
out with,
older
like,
or is he
no,
younger than us?
he was in our grade.
What?
He was only there for like a year or two.
Definitely don't remember him.
He's
And
the
we
one,
went to
so
a small
basically
school.
he's the one that he got there for like a year or two and then he left.
He went
but
to
he's the-
Dade?
Yeah.
How-
Yeah.
And during what time frame?
This was like either junior year or senior year.
Santi?
Because I left my Santiago Mesa.
Nah, bro, I don't remember him.
He was shorter. He used to hang out with Tyler and like Pepito and them and Nestor, I think. So not
Definitely
to get
don't
too
remember
deep
them.
into it. Not to get too deep into it.
I was
So
partying
basically,
pretty hard during those
yeah.
periods of time.
So basically, hold on. Go lay down. Hold on 1 second. Come here.
That dog has been bothering
Menace to society.
Your dog,
A
that dog
menace to
has been
society.
bothering you the
A
whole
menace
time,
is
bro.
killing me, bro. So what was that? Okay, so
By the way, dog, I've been on that Thorpe. I've been on Thorpe.
yeah, I've been on that.
I bought your I took your advice on that on
On the
Thorpe.
Thorn.
Or that is Thorn creatine.
You use the discount code or what?
I did not.
I'll
I
shoot
don't.
you.
I didn't
I'll
remember.
find
Yeah,
it for you. And I'll shoot you. It's like
shoot it
20%
to
off.
me. That
like-
sounds phenomenal. From my
And that's
point
like
of
the
view, I
cleanest
like
type.
that.
Like my trainer John, which we'll have another episode. We gotta invite him to our podcast and go on his
Well,
as well.
that's the whole. And I don't mean to like go on a completely separate
No,
thing, but
go,
that was
go.
one thing that I was going to bring up was that this whole thing sort of sprouted from the embryo of both of us being creatives and both of us really wanting to just kind of talk about what the process and the journey is like for creatives who are just living, in general. I mean, it really came from us wanting to talk to each other, but we just both so happen to be creative people and we're both in creative industries. So it's one of those things that we have a lot of blend over, right? And it bleeds through. So we wanted to just kind of talk to each other about that and talk to each other's journeys, not only like promote our stuff, but also just really be honest about it. And I'm looking forward to bringing people in, not just that are creatives, but people that are just in life. And like, I always had this concept of steel tissue in my head for whatever reason, which is like, what are the things that make you the most vulnerable and the most resilient? Because I think that those two kind of go hand in hand. It's one of those things where it's like the thing that makes you the most vulnerable and the thing that makes you the most resilient is really what propels you forward, right? Because when you hit that state of vulnerability on the bottom, it's one of those things that you kind of don't know how to go, and then you develop this resiliency to continue to go forward despite everything that's trying to tear you down in life, especially in the creative industry, bro. As you were just saying, that's kind of the premise of KTLO also, is not to have to go to those things, and you guys have formed this sort of avenue of resiliency to be able to move past what people are trying to block you from doing.
I want us to touch base on the steel issue because I see it here in our notes. But let me get back to what I was kind of giving an example, another example, NFT. But I like hold on to that thought. I want us to touch on that next. So Santi, he owns like a wellness, I guess you could say like a wellness office where you can go and get.
Oh, he's the dude that's talking about the IV drips and the vitamin drips.
Exactly. So basically, you know who I'm talking about now, or still no?
No, I have no idea who he is, but I know who he is in the chat.
Well, I'll show you a picture later.
If you show me a picture of him, I probably
if you go on his Instagram,
remember what he
if you go on his Instagram, you know who it is.
All right.
We'll do it
Santi,
later.
what's his last name?
Mesa.
All right, continue talking. I'm gonna look.
Okay, so Santiago _ Mesa. Look at that. We just gave him a free plug. And his and I'll even say like his shop basically. It's called Nude Beauty. I think MIA or 305. So his NFT was, if you buy his NFT, why am I yelling? If you buy his NFT, you
have coffee, baby. Café Con podcast. Let's go.
So if you buy his NFT, you get 5 sessions a year for whatever vitamins you want through an IV for life.
Oh wow.
For life. All you got to do is buy that NFT once, which it sounds too good to be true, but that's all it is. So what you receive is a piece of art digitally, and then also I can just call him, or I can set up an appointment. Hey, can I come in next week for my IV drip? Which I use it if, like, say for example, which I didn't use it for this last 5K, which I didn't really need to, but it probably would have been smart to. Say if I have like a long weekend of events for DJing, whether it's Art Basel or like we just had Miami Music Week. I like taking that type of stuff because then it keeps your nutrients and your vitals up high because you're depleting a lot of energy and, you know, hydration in a sense.
For
So that's
sure.
not to get too deep in it, but that's basically showing another way you can use Web3 and NFTs. Because obviously with all the murky water that right now with crypto and how it took off and then now it kind of got stagnant and took a step back and then people kind of talk down on it in a sense sometimes. You just got to use things with your own, you know, grain of salt. And, you know, I think it's a world that in 20 years it's going to be so profound. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like with VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, all that with meta and all that. I think it's going to be huge. So that's just to give you guys an idea of what an NFT what an NFT really is.
All right, so let me, and that's a
pretty
good
much
set.
it.
I think that's a good. We can talk about that in a second too. I'm gonna tell you like just essentially where I come into this whole fray, and what I have, who I am essentially. Just, I mean, I my full name is Isaac Gonzalez Rossi. And I guess that's my stage name too. It used to be Isaac Rossi. That's funny. It used to be Isaac Rossi, but when I came out here because I'm Cuban, my agent would start submitting me for. They were like, Rossi's not a Hispanic last name, and he goes, yeah, but he speaks full Spanish. He's Cuban, and they're like, yeah, but his last name is Italian. So until I put Gonzalez in there, they wouldn't call me in for Hispanic roles. It was
I think
really
that calls for a story too. Like a double last name is like there's a story behind that.
I mean, I like it. It's lyrical, right? There's a little sing.
It catches your eye. You're cut out again. You're probably touching something with your mouse. I don't know. I still can't hear anything. I'll give you a thumbs up when I can.
Hold, please.
No, you cut out now.
Check my speaker.
There you go. You're good.
Continue recording. Hold on.
I wonder why it does that.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfect. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear
Can
me?
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. And then let me put in. It's so weird.
Do you have regular headphones? I don't think that's the problem, but Bluetooth usually gets like it's not wired, so it gets janky.
No,
sometimes.
it's not even the Bluetooth. It's my mic that keeps cutting in and out. I don't know.
You're out now. You cut out now.
Hold on. I know you can hear me now. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna use your computer.
This is just my computer.
Yeah, I can hear it through your computer.
I know. Hold
now,
on.
I can hear you now perfectly.
I know. So I know you can hear me now. This is just, so we're just gonna roll with it as long as my mic is working. So yeah, I mean, it's.
I can hear it through your mic.
I know, but
okay,
sometimes
okay.
it cuts in and out. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's one of those things that the last name thing was weird, but I'm an actor out here in LA, and so
a writer.
and a writer. I write as well. And
Renaissance man, listen, don't
man.
Don't hold back, bro. Call a spade, bro. Call a spade.
Well, it's
Tell
funny.
them everything you do.
Yeah, no, that's essentially it. You know, I produce as much as I can. I haven't done it in a minute. I produced a short film out here that isn't done yet, but it's definitely interesting. Anyways, that's essentially my primary function out here is definitely actor. I mean, more than anything, I just want to tell some stories in whatever way that I can. That's kind of the biggest way that I can describe what I do, is that I just want to just tell some stories, man. You know, just have a good time doing it. But just going back to like everything that we were talking about with meta, and we're completely jumping all over the place. That meta shit scares me, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It does scare me too.
It scares me, dog. You know, because like we were talking about not leaving the house. I literally, I'm subject to it. I order from Amazon. I order Instacart. You know, I'm like, I have dumbbells at home. We're slowly sinking further and further into the Ready Player One.
Bro, remember we all children used to hang out with our family in the living room. No one does that now.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Everybody's in their own room doing their own. Look, I'm in my own room right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange it's a strange time, and that's why I think like what we're doing here is an IRL. I'll never forget, bro. So Hugh, one of our boys, hosted an event out here for LA Tech runs, right? Actually, I think I have that NFT also.
There
I
you
think
go.
I don't know,
Yeah,
or
you
I have
probably
that
do.
token.
Did you go
I
to
don't
the
know.
event for free?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
you do. If you have the token, that means you have
And
an NFT.
I went to the basketball runs for free. I don't know about
That's the only way
the
you get
and
access is through the NFT.
yeah, and the other events. I don't even remember, bro. It's like
We're gonna be plugging a
looking.
lot of people in this podcast.
I just don't even know. I like, bro. I just this is the thing with me. I just people are like, are my boys are like, oh, you just join in? I'm like, cool, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's hit it. What do you guys?
Yeah.
We're gonna play basketball, but you got to do this, this. I'm like, whatever, bro. I just want to play ball. Just literally lay out step by step for me, and let's hit it. I'm down. I'm down. But it's one of those things that, I went there and I'll never forget what one guy said who was like pretty deep in the crypto community and all that stuff, which is, IRL will always be URL, which is in real life will always be URL, and I really hope I'm kind of like an optimistic realist is the way that I would describe myself. I really hope that's true because I don't ever want the computer aspect of things to ever beat out people living their lives. Like I've seen the real estate game type of thing where people are literally buying real estate on Meta and stuff like that. And in my mind, it's going to be, it's like the Matrix is the way that I see it. It's like you're in a pod.
It
and
removes you from reality.
Well, bro, just think about you owning a house in Meta and then I own a house in Meta, right?
And
Or
we
a
go to
piece of
meet
land.
there
Yeah, and that's it exactly. We'll just meet there while we're sitting, like we're just sitting here, and we'll just put our shit on, and we'll just meet in those houses
instead of doing this.
yeah. And on
Instead of
top of
releasing
that,
it.
they have like gloves and shit that'll make you feel,
Haptics. Yeah.
yeah, like you will literally be feeling what you're feeling while you're there,
Yeah, that
which is
definitely that part's scary.
wild,
That's that
bro. That's
that definitely
wild.
that'll stunt like the not the growth, but just like the haptics, like the senses of your body itself.
Dog, that shit's crazy, bro.
Like
Because then
you
you're
fire off serotonin and like from like a digital reaction.
and you're gonna be tricking your entire body into feeling like that is real. You know what I'm saying? But then again, and we could get into all of this. What is reality? So that's a whole nother bag of tricks, baby. That's a whole nother bag of tricks. But I think, bro, a question that I wanted to ask you was, I think a good question, right? And then we can kind of just go off on this tangent and probably call it a day because I have to get off in like the next 10 minutes. Is
Yeah, before you start, like
what?
I can get used to this.
Right, dog? That's what I'm saying.
Right when you were saying like I gotta get off, I'm like, damn, I want to keep going.
That's what I mean. It's so, and I would, but we're meeting up with a couple of our friends. We're gonna go to like some wine thing. But it's that's what I mean, bro. That's like why I wanted to do it is just to literally talk to you.
It's not even for this. The
I don't
sake
care
of a
if
podcast.
anybody listens to this. Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be dope if somebody listened to it. Cool, that's awesome. That I hope that it fulfills whatever type of thing, right? But my thing is like, I just wanted to talk to you. I always just kind of every single day, although I didn't meditate today, but I really do genuinely every day. I try to hit a workout in the morning and I try to pray and meditate. And one of the things that I ask for is just, like an anointing of the path, give me clarity to see my path, discernment to know which way I got to go, and then the courage to take those steps. That's all I care about, right? And doing those things. And this, for whatever reason, I was like, oh, this is a good way for me to connect with my people. That's really what I care about, just connecting with my people. But anyways, that's me too, dog. Because like we've done an hour probably. Well, we started around 11:30. I would say is when we really legitimately started.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna hit an hour, and it seemed like we just talked about bullshit.
20 minutes.
An hour. We didn't talk about anything.
That usually happens. Like, say if I go to your house and we're outside talking in the parking lot.
That's what I mean,
like,
dog.
I gotta go. We say I gotta go at least like 7 times.
That's what I mean. That's exactly how it is. The Hispanic goodbyes when you go to say goodbye, and that's something that Sky. So when Sky and I first started dating and shit, it was funny because it was like we'd walk out of the restaurant and then we get in our car like 45 minutes later because we all the family would be talking in the parking lot, and she's like, "Man, I thought we were gonna say goodbye." I go, "That's how it always is. You got You'll see. It's like we start off right outside the restaurant, then we move like 10 feet away, then we move another 10 feet away, and then we go to one person's car, then we go to the next person's car. It's never just like
I wouldn't have it any other way though.
It's just that's just the way. Hey, that's the way it is, dog.
That's beautiful.
That's another thing that's amazing about us, so we've known each other. That's something else that I wanted to get into in the beginning, but whatever. We've known each other since we were like 4, right? Like 4. Right. When
5
did
years
you
old.
start dating? You started
In
dating in
in
kindergarten?
kindergarten.
So
In
yeah, like
kindergarten.
4 or 5 years old, right? And we went to the same elementary school, middle school, and then in high school you left in 10th grade or 11th?
Yeah. I left for the last 2 years of high school.
Yeah, and but I
Which
mean
made us all,
we've
I would say, made us all even closer because the school I went to was so far that
dude,
I didn't put in the effort or time to really hang out with a lot of people at that school, only just a handful of friends. But I was still hanging out 3 times as many times as with you guys than I was with anyone there.
I'm sure you would have hung out with them too if the connection. The thing with this whole like our connection, which a lot of people say, is we have a group of boys that's 5 of us, right? And we've all known each other since we were 5 years old, 5 or 6. And the older that I've gotten, right? So I'm 30 as well. The older that I've gotten, the more I've realized that what we have is definitely unique, right? And special is a word that I would use as well, but special is kind of subjective, but unique in
Yeah.
just observing other people with their friends. Because I've met a lot of people as I've gotten older, a lot of great people, and not some not so great. But anyways, they don't have the same types of friendships that have lasted for 25 years,
Yeah.
right? We've been friends for 25 years. We've stayed in contact. That's the other thing. Our little group of friends, there's never been a lag. There's never been like oh, I didn't talk to him for a few years type of thing.
And it's never been of like we feel obligated or we feel FOMO and we don't want to be out of the loop of friends. It's because we want to be friends.
Yeah, we have like a group chat that we literally talk to each other every single day.
Single day.
Yeah, and it's not even out of it's just out of stupid shit too.
Yeah.
Dude,
Got boys being boys. Like,
we were so when I was on my honeymoon, I was working out with Sky in Iceland. We were in Iceland, and we were working out.
shameless plug, everybody.
Yeah, shameless plug. Little flex right there. Subtle flex.
Living large.
We had the best. That's a whole nother episode we could have. But we were in Iceland and we were working out, and I gave her one of my AirPods because I don't remember why. I don't think she had her AirPods or whatever. And we were working out in this hotel's gym, and you know how Siri will read off whatever your texts say. And I had like I had a little bald spot on my chin right here, right? Because I don't even remember why I had it, but whatever. I had a bald spot on my chin, and Kyle was like, did you shave a bald spot? And I go, oh no, I wish, bro, but it's I for whatever reason I'm balding right there on my beard. It's kind of making me self-conscious and all that stuff. And then I gave Sky the AirPod, and then your responses were what Sky heard, and the responses were like, nah, bro, don't fucking worry. We know who you are. The bald spot doesn't make you. You do you, dog. Like and she came and she was cracking up because she was like, that was like the most genuine and sincere hype up of friends that I've ever heard. Now, mind you, that's the good version because we also rag on each other all the fucking time. Like that's also how we grew up, was like, you got to make fun of each other. I think that is
and take each other too seriously.
Nah, and that's a vital part of friendship as well.
I wouldn't say it's toxic. It's never toxic though, which I hate to use that word. I hate to. It's more. It's fun and games.
Yeah, bro.
It's more to just laugh at yourselves, just to laugh at yourselves,
bro. I mean, and
it's healthy. It's healthy banter.
Well, it's because we know that there's that underlying sincerity of love that's always there. That's the thing, is that it's sincere love. So there's never a point in which, when we're making fun of each other, that we mean it in a way that's going to tear you down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we call each whatever, it's always been like that.
I would say even so, when there's been moments where we like have to call each other out on our like our slacking of the friendship or just communicating, I don't even think it's like 3 versus 1. It's always been like on a very individual basis, and then we'll all come together and talk about it.
Yeah,
and I think that's a very proper way of handling things,
bro. Even in the midst of conflict, first off, I think disagreement, that's another reason why I wanted to do the podcast with you specifically, is because you and I have had many disagreements before,
and we voiced them. We're not afraid to voice our opinions.
No, and in on top of those disagreements, though, we talk it through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's another reason why I wanted to do this, because I know that you and I see the world in a very similar but also different way. So I think that's something that's very important, is for there to be, because in all honesty, I feel like we're losing the art of just being able to disagree with people, right? And I think that disagreement is something that moves things forward and it keeps people individual as well, right? It's like, well, that's the point of all this is like we're all seeing the world through our own lenses, through our own experiences, through our memories, the things that have happened to us. So, and I, in all honesty, really think that genuinely good people just try their best, right? So regardless of the way that you see the world, you're just trying your best. And it's okay to disagree with people. Agree to disagree is a great saying, in my opinion, when it's done in a way that's meant to progress something, right? And that's something that we always do. Whenever we disagree, we talk about it. You show me things, I show you things, we listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it's open. It's supposed to be that. That makes my brain work. If I don't disagree with somebody, then it's boring to me. If you're just agreeing with somebody all the time, I just think that is boring.
You're talking to yourself at that point.
Yeah.
You're talking to your own thoughts, and you're just giving. It's just you're affirming what you initially thought. So there's no growth. Kind of like, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I would say too, it's never been a vibe of we're arguing to have a pissing contest or just for the sake of arguing or being right. I think it's more so, even if when it's, hey, we can agree to disagree, but I'm glad I got to get another perspective. And maybe we're in the moment we're saying we'll agree to disagree because we're men and it's in the heat of the moment. And then a couple days later, I know we regroup and be like, hey, man, now that I thought about it, now I'm not saying I completely agree with you, but it definitely opens a door for me to consider some other conflicting thoughts. Because I remember someone telling me that the true definition of intelligence is to be able to withhold two conflicting ideas in your mind and try to understand them both. Not agree with both of them, but understand them both. So it's like, it's not about being PC or anything like that, because we're never been PC. We're not. That's not us. But it's definitely, if you want to coexist with other people that you truly love and enjoy their time, you have to understand that you're not going to agree on everything. So you got to either move past it but not just move past it and like brush it under the rug. It's more move past it of how can we move forward with having an open line of communication and at least try to understand each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's funny when you were saying withholding two conflicting ideas in your brain and understanding, because I remember going back to the art thing. I was listening to Benicio del Toro talk one time, and he was talking about the character that he played in Sicario, and he was like, when you play a killer, I'm not a killer in real life, so it's like but you have to not judge the people that you're playing. You just have to try to understand them, right? So it's like I will never be able to kill somebody, but I'm sure that you've had moments in your.
You cut out. No. I don't even think it's a connection issue. I think it goes into like an idle mode.
It's not a connection issue. It's my mic for work. I'll figure it out for next time.
There you go. It's good now.
Yeah, I'll figure it out for next time. But it's something with my mic and Zoom. It's like cutting in and out. I don't understand why.
I would say when we get off here, just you literally Google or YouTube.
I am.
Google the model of your mic and say cutting out of Zoom, and then put like Reddit or something, and someone.
Yeah, I will. I know. And no, I know, and I'll figure.
No, but go
out.
ahead. You were going.
Yeah, he was like, I've never killed anybody, and I'm never gonna kill anybody. But I'm sure you've had those moments of like, for instance, you can understand because his character has had his daughter was kidnapped. Yeah. She was raped and then killed by the cartel or something like that. So he becomes a sicario. So he becomes like an assassin to go and kill them. Right. And so it's like you understand where that person's coming from. Not that, and you can't judge them as being good or bad. That's the other thing. Because if you judge a killer immediately as bad, especially in acting, bro, that's something else that I've learned. If you're judging your character immediately from the onset, for me at least, as being negative, as being a horrible human being, the way you play that person is going to be a horrible human being. That's why the best villains are the ones that you can relate to, is because, in my opinion, the actor that's portraying them is not judging them as being bad. They see themselves as the hero, essentially. They see themselves as like they're doing this and it's justified as to why they're doing it in their lives, rather than it being
because you
like
kind of bring your own life into it as well, and then you go in with a bias, and then you don't give the full respect for the sake of the story. You're making it about yourself now, when really it's about the story.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I think that's something else that's. I think, and we're gonna have to wrap up, but I think something else that's a good wrap up point is that at the end of the day, I think this is why I think art is vital, is because everybody's trying. I had a teacher tell me this one time early on in college. He was like, I don't care what technique you use to get to where you're going. Everybody's trying to do the same thing, which is trying to get to the truth. So I don't care if it's Stanislavski, Meisner, whatever. All this stuff doesn't matter. Some people go really intense. Some people don't have to do any of that. Everybody's just trying to get to the truth. And that's why I think art is vital, is because of the fact that we all see the world through different perspectives and lenses, right? And with that, we're all trying to relate to the truth, to whatever the truth is. Now, while there are certain truths in the world that I believe are like, what goes up must come down, type of things like that. Yep. I think that art serves as a piece to see somebody's lens, right? So you're looking through somebody's lens, and I think that that's like something that's very important, is to be able to express truth through art, in my opinion. Now, there are some arts that are
both in the arts, so I mean,
yeah,
I agree with that.
That story, bro. It's like, what's your story? Rossi always says, everybody's got a story in the big city, and the big city's, Earth. So everybody. And the other thing, bro, that I for whatever reason just thought of when we were in Norway and Iceland, I really think, because we were talking about the ability to disagree is kind of going out the window. I think that there are so many things that we are more alike with from people around the world, period, than we're disalike or not alike.
Yeah, we're more alike than different.
Exactly. We are more alike than different.
Little nuances is what makes us feel like we're farther apart than what we really are.
I will always be a component of bringing people together. I'm not one to tear people apart. But it's just, and I think that all of us, that's the other thing about our group, is that regardless of the manner in which we live our lives, we're also rooted in love. Thank God we had a good foundation. That could be a whole nother topic, period. But foundation is, bro, kids are key. That's the key, how kids are raised. That all starts with the kids. And we had the best childhood in the world. Thank God we had the best childhood in the world.
I feel like the older I get, the more I realize it. Because you don't realize it until like decades later.
We're blessed.
Now we're definitely a whole decade removed from our childhood.
Dude. So that's another thing. I feel like the time in which you really start to live your life properly is in your 20s. I feel like your 20s is really the first decade of your life. Because if you think about it, from like 0 to 10, you don't know shit until you're 4, right? Or 3.
You're a baby.
And then you have to.
You're a baby.
Yeah, you're a baby.
I have found members that say like when you're 4, you're a baby up until like you're 14 in reality, because you have no real responsibilities.
But even then, you don't have independence. And then you get to like 16 and you have a car, you're able to go out and shit. And then at 18, you move out of the crib, right? Or you go to college, whatever it is. 18, you start to get a little independence. So then like, for instance, we both went right to college when we were 18. So then we go to college, but then it's like you're semi-independent. That's when you really kind of start to figure shit out. But then when you're 20, so you're 20 to 30 is really when you start to really know who you are as a human, in my opinion. It's really when things start to kind of concrete themselves and kind of become what you think.
I still feel like there's still areas where you're still trying to figure out yourself.
Oh, bro, all the time.
I feel like to look like your morals and core, I think we both figured that out around the mid-20s, early 20s. But now is when I start to realize, whether if you call me a late bloomer or whatever it is, just because I was preoccupied with soccer and college. Now I feel like I'm really starting to apply the part where I figured out who I am.
Definitely.
And even like, my dating life and things like that, where now when I express that to certain females on the dating scene, it can throw them off, because it's like, we're still young. Like, we don't want to, no one wants to hear the noise, no one wants to face the music. Where
definitely, bro.
I would agree with you. I would say that the 20s is definitely like, now you're really figuring yourself out, or you already have yourself figured out. But I would say it took me, like I said, when I was in college, I was just focused on soccer and nothing else. So everything else was not a joke to me, but everything was just, I didn't take it as seriously.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I was following, I would say you were maybe a couple footsteps ahead of me when it came to like what you said, because I can't fully agree with the earlier mid-20s. Like, now I know who I am, or maybe I did, but I just don't give myself enough credit, because we were still like floating around the world in college, at least.
Bro, I didn't know who I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Look, Matthew McConaughey says something that I always go back to. He's like, you start to figure out who you are when you figure out who you're not. Right? He goes, it's the things that you as you get older, you start to think like, you know what? I actually don't like doing that, which is cool. And that's fine. That's the other thing.
I really realized I don't actually like eating blueberry pancakes under 2 minutes.
That when you were talking earlier about going to the hospital and stomach issues and everything, it was that made me laugh because that's the first thing that I thought of. I'll never forget. We were blasted,
and you feel stupid. You're like, why am I eating so much to the point where like my stomach's hurting, or vice versa? Why I'm not eating when I'm not supposed when I'm supposed to?
It was awesome.
And now my stomach is like building up acid.
That place is still the best brunch spot I've.
We gotta go back. I definitely.
Briar Patch.
It tasted amazing, but the moment we left that spot, I was like,
you just ate too much, dog.
I made in too little time.
You just ate too much.
I was being obnoxious.
Now you know who you're not. You're not that guy.
I know I don't like eating 6 buttermilk pancakes with blueberries under 2 minutes.
Funny, bro. That shit was. I'll never forget that. And it was so. Like, you were so chill. You were so chill about it.
Give me a second.
We were walking out. And you always get like this look, like it's the furrowed brow look, right? We were like,
something's wrong.
And then you're just kind of like, hey, bro, can you hold this for a second? I was like, sure. So you gave me your box, and I was holding it, and then I just see you like go to the side, and you just go. And you just unload on the side of the road, and I'm like, what just happened?
Literally,
like, what is going on right
You're
now?
like, you must feel better, right, bro?
No, and then you finished and you got it. You're like, yeah, I feel good. And then we just got in the car. It was like nothing happened. It was the most nonchalant yakking I've ever seen. No, and then remember that one time we went to that bar with those 2 girls.
I was gonna bring that up next.
And you yacked in the median on the center.
I was like, y'all keep walking because I didn't want to see them. Like, I didn't want them to see me yak. So I was like, it's gonna ruin the whole double date vibe.
Most nonchalant. Oh my god, bro, that was funny. Good.
And that was just because of like downing beers on an empty stomach
and taking tequila shots. That's what I mean. Your early 20s, just do what you gotta do. You're doing
dumb stuff, so like you don't have to do it again, or
we still do dumb. Bro, we're still figuring shit out. Look at what we're doing right now. I think this is another form of that. Is us just talking about shit. You know, and that's another reason I want to get like Nicky Bobby on here and Kyle and Hugh.
I'm gonna go to his game right now after this.
Okay, good shit. All right, bro. Let's wrap this thing up.
You already know.
I don't know if this is the right way or not. Let's wrap this thing up, Doc. Oh my god. You paused.
This isn't props, people. This isn't a studio prop. This is real cafe.
You got to get a light too, dude. You're so dark. Not only are you tancito, but you're so dark. You got to get a light to put on or use your lights that you use when you do your IG live. For anybody that's ever listening to this, check out his IG lives because your IG lives are fire. Those IG lives.
It's dark in here. It's dim.
You're dark right now.
Is it
you
because
just need to put exactly because you're being backlit. You're backlit.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
Right.
You're backlit.
Let me put a light on my phone and tell me if that does the job.
Because like the sun is coming in from my window over here.
How about now?
That's better.
Already?
That's better. Yeah, but you're gonna need to get a
ring light or something.
Yeah, whatever. Just something to put a light on your front.
I'm really white right now, to be honest.
Bro, I am so white.
But for you to say I do look kind of
Casper, dog. I'm like Casper right now.
Honestly, yeah. I gotta get a light.
All right, bro.
You think the blurry background is kind of janky, or I should put like something different?
It's definitely janky, but I kind of like it. No, I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. I think it gives a nice little juxtaposition.
I gotta change it. I gotta change it to like ocean or something.
I think it's cool.
Brother, this is a good first one.
Hey man,
I wish we could go longer.
This is the first. That's what I mean. We just had to get the first one out of the way, just so we could kind of figure out what's happening with all the technical difficulties and everything, and just to talk to you. I love you, bro.
I love you too, dog. Yo,
I'm happy.
Thank you for taking the initiative to propose this to me.
Hell yeah.
You know I would say yes. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, and hell yeah, and we'll talk about everything else because we're gonna need to get some music. Talk about janky. This is the most janky of janky right now. This is like Wawa coffee. We're not up to Café Pilon yet.
Yeah,
we're like fucking gas station coffee right now.
Coffee. Yeah. Don't talk down on Wawa, bro.
Nah, Sky loves Wawa coffee. Sky's always like, that's the shittiest cup of coffee I will ever have, and
I never had coffee there. I never had coffee there, but I always get a sandwich from there.
It is fucking good. The coffee, it's like burnt. You know when you have like burnt popcorn. and you know it's
Yeah.
gross, but you know it's gonna crack you out for like 17 hours. It's awesome.
We were talking about Wawa at your house for your birthday, and Mariana was like, every time we used to go somewhere to go eat, like a real restaurant, you would be like, "I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go to Wawa," and they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Wawa was awesome."
Yeah, bro.
But
Wawa
she
was
used to be
great.
like, "You were addicted to Wawa." I was like,
Wawa
"Wawa was
was
a broke
dope.
college student. That's why too."
Yeah, Wawa was. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's not get into Wawa because we're gonna keep
that's
talking
not.
for like another
Yeah,
hour.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love you,
We
bro.
definitely gotta post this episode though as a pilot.
Yeah, I got a whole way of doing it. So we have to. The first one's done. Love you, dog. This was fun. We'll talk about the next one and see what we can do. All right,
you,
bro.
Love you, dog.
Love you,
Love
dog.
All right, peace.
Peace.
This was awesome.
This is the Café Con podcast.